And we are back. See, now it's as soon as I go live. See how it gets all stuttery like that?
Yeah.
It's so weird. And I don't know if it's the Chrome patch, which some of you are using Chrome, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And your cameras are fine.
Yeah, mine's fine.
I don't know.
I mean, I know
really
it is.
hope
Letitia here is hexed you.
Yeah, probably. I really hope it's not a, post no longer patching Windows 10 problem. That's going to really suck, to say the least. But I don't see it anywhere else on any of my other applications or my tools. It's so weird. So we're just going to have to tolerate it for tonight. I think I'm just going to delete this studio Monday and try to rebuild it and see if that fixes it. So, but where we last left off, the team finally coming out from underneath the tunnels and mines underneath King's Fall can't really seem to stay out of trouble. At the moment, they find themselves within the streets of King's Fall with an opportunity to get a rest and make their way over to Tam's workshop. Instead, a line of wagons filled with prisoner cages came through the area of the city, and the team decided, well, let's get those prisoners out of there. And spent the next few minutes hatching a quick plan, interceded the wagon train of prisoners, which seemed to coincide with a simultaneous group of the,
Ember Hand.
Of the Ember Hand, who seemed to already be purposely set on freeing the Aarakocra known as Raptor, with the intent of, at the very least, freeing him from imprisonment. It was Professor that kicked off the surprise ambush. Not only did the plan work well, but the plan also led to an opportunity for Bongo, formerly known as Eritrea, to use the opportunity to fake as if he was helping the Wardens, and got an in on the senior warden of the district, which allowed him to then not only curry favor to that to the keeper, but also to the captain, who he aided at the time. She had given him a kind of identification pass that allowed him to go up into the High Crown, which is the kind of more kind of isolated upper district of King's Fall, and gained access to an estate that was clearly being used as a way to keep people kind of docile and ready for entertainment purposes, with one exception, a Goliath that Bongo had a quick interaction with that warned him not to drink the wine and try to avoid the captain whenever possible while here at the estate. The rest of the team, after causing chaos and freeing the prisoners, split off into many different directions, only to eventually circle back into Tam's workshop. Here, Forn would have updated everyone that the Fey folk were set free in the lower mines underneath the city to find their way to, it would seem that they are aware of and are making their way towards Puck and Rockhaven, as they seem to understand who Puck is and that she means a person of safety, a place of safety. But for now, we are all, with the exception of Bongo, who is still up in the estate house, in the, and you'd think I'd memorize it, the High Crown. He's the only one not currently at Tam's workshop. The rest of you are there. It's actually, I think we arrived on the surface around early morning, or was it the setting of the sun? Was it about?
I thought we were afternoon.
It was late afternoon.
Oh, yeah, you're right. It was late afternoon when you guys arrived to the surface of King's Fall. It's late afternoon at Tam's workshop. Everybody is here but Eritrea. What would you guys like to do next?
I messaged him, or I used my token to talk to him last time. I was like, dude, where are you? We're all here. And he didn't say anything back. I'll relay that to the group, though.
Okay.
To everybody else. Yeah.
Oh no, I hope he's okay. We're such close friends. We're such close friends that if he somehow locked into a luxury hotel situation, he'd probably share it with me first. Just give you the keys to the spa and all that.
Maybe you rubbed off on him more than you thought.
It's, I've always considered myself a big influence in his life. He used to be such a nice person, and now look at him.
Yeah, he tried to kill you.
I know. I'm so proud.
So you sent the message and it went through. You just didn't hear back.
Yeah, I didn't have, I've had trouble sending before if like the token's been found or whatever, but it went through as far as I know. I didn't get that non-reaction like I normally do when the token's destroyed.
Okay, so maybe he was just like chatting with someone and couldn't reply.
Well, he can't reply. I can just send him a message, but he's got ways to contact us, right?
Yeah.
Who has the sending stone? He has one of the sending stones, don't he?
I think Karina and I have the 2 sending stones.
I think we have 2 sets
have
of
two
sending
pairs.
stones.
Oh.
One that both of us have, and one that is kind of floating around.
I made a pair and gave them. I gave one to Eritrea. I thought I gave the other one to you, Corinna. Maybe I didn't give it to you.
Maybe it went to Jalbatross if we were trying to cover the most ground with sending stones.
Yeah.
I don't think I have a sending stone.
Okay.
I don't think I have anything in my notes about it.
Well, I made 2. I made a pair and gave one to somebody else, and I know I gave one to Eritrea though.
All right. Well,
I didn't keep it.
Yeah,
because I've got the token.
he's clearly got ways to contact us. We know he has sending anyway.
You gave me. I looked at my notes, Kurt. You did give Eritrea one.
Yeah. I thought I gave the other one to Karina, but maybe I didn't.
So now that we are here, what are we trying to accomplish? Because this is kind of a dangerous area to stay in for too long, but there's a lot we can try and accomplish while we're here.
I know we were like, the whole reason we came here, besides having to flee, was like maybe we're going to try and teleport to get to Jamansa Ord. But now that we're here, I kind of feel like there might be more we could do here than like sort of rescuing or attempting a rescue mission in Ankarel. It sounds like Jamansa Ord's going to stay where they're put.
Go ahead.
Oh yeah, sorry. What were you saying?
I don't know how safe Jamansa Ord feels they might be, but it definitely was odd that every other time we tried to communicate with Jamansa Ord, we got the imposter. But this one time, we got someone that was trapped on the ground.
Maybe because the imposter is dead?
The imposter was we
Or no, because we got a response from the imposter also.
Yeah.
So maybe it's just random luck. Or maybe it's a trap.
It's a trap.
Well,
that's evil in the background.
if we are just looking to create some chaos for some of our enemies, something that I would love to try and do is, we know that some fragment of the Arn Collective is meeting in the forest in a location that was specified earlier in, I believe, about a week and a half now. I would love to try to go through my old channels, speak to some of the people in governance and convince them to go attack that meeting. Just to check something out. I want to see how well their communications or working with one player. If their communications are very low, it could be a way for two different fragments of changelings to just kind of like waste each other's time, cause some chaos. Maybe something will shake loose. And it
There's
does
also,
seem like. Oh, sorry.
well, there's also the conundrum of these true polymorph changelings. We don't have a way to identify or discover who or where these true polymorph agents might be. Tam did mention that perhaps Dormir may be working on something along those lines. Perhaps I don't know if we rest tonight and then go there tomorrow, but I do think we need to follow up on that lead. If the changelings are the problem, look, we have our problems. They're different, but these true polymorphed agents of the changeling cabal, we need to be able to identify them. And if Moonbeam is the only thing we can do right now, that's a very limited method of discovery, but it's also a very obvious method of discovery.
Well, Regina said that the Iron Collective had some kind of way of locating the Archfey that were polymorphed to avoid detection.
We had a person, if I recall.
Yeah, the question is if that person's abilities extend beyond just that of the Archfey, if they can detect people who are polymorphed, including maybe true polymorphed, or maybe they just have this ability when it comes to the Archfey. They also have that facility where they transform people or transform different creatures, and that they want to use on the Archfey. I wouldn't mind locating that ruin and destroying it. I feel like destroying it would really put a wrench in their overall plans and maybe give us some insight about how they're doing it. And like you said, Tam mentioned one person, I think named Anna, who has been requesting machinery and magic pertaining to polymorph. And so there's maybe some chance that that's a clue. I have an idea of maybe a potential way. I have an inkling that the ruins Corina Prime recalls, whether or not it's a true memory or not. Some of the descriptions sound a little bit similar in that it's an old ruin in the desert, and one of the changelings, the bastard changeling I hate the most, who really screwed us over, mentioned while we were going down something that kind of gave me pause, which is that he wanted to understand why the queen didn't want to interact with Corina Prime yet. I don't know if that was some kind of way to manipulate me. I don't know what that was about, but it struck me as a little bit odd that he would say that. I felt like he was trying to get some kind of information. So I am going to try overnight to contact Corina using a spell called Dream, and I'm hoping that that would give me access to her memories enough so that I can maybe get a sense of what her memories look like and see if like the architecture or anything like that looks familiar.
You could always eat a brain.
Well, no, because then I'd have to kill her. But I'd kill other people. I mean, I'm down for that. In fact, I was very down to do that yesterday, but I recall some people getting all goody two-shoes about it. And whatever, okay, I'll complain later. Save us so much time, man.
Okay, so it sounds like we want to stick around for a while, meet this wizard Dormer, maybe infiltrate this changeling meeting. I'd like to get the Fae out of that prison because it sounds like they're killing them. What should we do first?
we need some way to know who's true polymorphed and who's not. If
And-
we go
and
into, I mean, if we go into the prison and we start freeing people, and they've got a plant within the Fae, what are we going to do? We've got a spy in our midst at that point.
And we think that's something Dormer can help with, right?
That's what Tam was saying, that Dormer was working on something to do with true polymorph and detecting changelings.
I think for now, Moonbeam will just have to be enough if we don't want to wait with it. But I also feel like our good friend Bongo, who was last seen talking to one of the guards, maybe has some leads on how we can infiltrate those prisons.
I believe that the conversation between Forn and Tam in the tunnels on the way up, Tam said that perhaps the mage Dormer could help make something.
Yeah.
Currently, Dormer and Tam are making a
Location
magical device to locate a staff.
Yep.
Is what they're currently working on.
I will also relate to the group my conversation with Flair, the Emberhand halfling, and sort of the list of people that she said she thought were or were not changelings. So it sounds like there's this Earth Genasi guy, Brack Stonecall, who may not be a changeling yet. We don't know for sure, but maybe he could be a good person to make contact with if we're trying to do some kind of infiltration.
Can I cross-reference that list with my former contacts?
Which list?
Of
the list from Flair.
Oh yeah, the list from Flair.
So Flair
was,
listed the High Castilian Renal Couture and Sel Kuame. That can't be right. Those are the two people that it looks like might be.
Yeah, the High Castilian, which is currently the one who sits in the seat of the High Council, which is Renala Couture.
Naveen or Naveen.
Yeah, there's Scene of the Vein, which is Voice of the People, and I believe the other one was
the third one. Stonecall.
Where are you? Yeah, Brock Stonecall, the minor foreman. Yep. None of those names sound
Minor
familiar
foreman
to you.
or the foreman of the mines.
Foreman of the mines.
One of the miners.
Of the miners. MINERS, not MINORS.
He has his own island but it's underground.
Oh, too soon.
Look,
Even
we've got
Eric-
Bubba in this fancy house, and now we've got a minor foreman.
There we go. Problem solved. Problem solved. Disturber of the peace. Disturber of the peace.
Can I try and think if I know anybody who might know those people, if I have any contacts in like their ranks?
The challenge you have with potential changeling contacts is that there are, like, I would say that the only contact you have here would be the one that gave you the opportunity to infiltrate the main ranks of the small cell of changelings that are here. There was never like a name given. You just know what they look like. You arrive at a particular area of the market. You wait till you see them, and then you head over. You have a conversation, and they kind of keep you updated on activities that are going on in the city. That's how you were able to learn so much about the city. But once again, the changelings are very kind of clandestine. They don't like to They definitely do not like to give away anything that could potentially, be harmful. Names. They are definitely playing everything close to the chest.
I see. I am kind of trying to think if there is any way we can find them, or like anybody I know that could introduce us to them, so we can maybe start following that thread and seeing what we can learn. But if
Yeah,
I don't know anybody,
I
I don't.
mean, yeah, I would say your best option is to probably head over to. There's two options. You have a contact over at the one of the temples that are in the city. It's called the Archive of the Echoes. And there is a human female priest there that goes by the name of Mira, that from time to time you use her to exchange messages with the organization. And then, of course, there's the fountain with the statue in the middle of it in Falls Reach Market, which to keep an eye out for a male human with short black hair, mustache, and usually wearing either blue or green kind of clothing. But it's the pin that he keeps on his chest lapel that gives you that expectation of that you're one of your contacts. His name, you don't know who his name is, but he's the one that you've used from time to time to gain more information about the organization of the changelings within King's Fall.
Nice. And I also believe I got my nifty Mind Shield ring in King's Fall. Did I swipe it off someone, or did I buy it? Because if I bought it, maybe we can buy more.
No, it was given to you by the contact at the market. You've managed to convince him that you're part of the organization, the group, and he was able to locate one for you and give it to you.
Oh, nice. Okay, so no shopping spree yet, but we will definitely have a shopping spree.
Ooh, do you guys have money in? Most of your money's back. Most of your money's back in Jrusar. I just wasn't sure.
I'm always. Karina always has the pockets.
You're always loaded. There's always money ready to go.
We did take at least some of the.
The
I
pockets.
can't remember the name.
Glimstone? I have a bunch of
the
it.
Glimstone from. Yeah.
I have one of the runes. He has the other of the runes.
Correct.
Yeah.
Tam kind of eyes the conversation that's playing out around him. Well, it would seem that we at least have a semblance of similar interest. If all of you would like, I could go and find Dormir and bring him here, and you could have a conversation with him about this device form that you'd like to have made. I don't see why he couldn't get started on that right away, even though we have a need to focus on what he wants to find. I think he would be more than eager to help people that are looking to protect Fae from harm from the people of the city.
Would bringing him here be better, or going to see him there?
I don't recommend going to his tower. That area of the district could be, well, after today's shenanigans, that area of the district could be difficult to operate in.
Fair enough. Tam, you said you knew of Crimp, right?
I know of him and his industry and what he does, yes.
You never happened to meet him, though, have you?
I have not. From time to time, when I need to get my hand on Basarus metal, more importantly, the Basarus bronze, that is the only time I've ever come in contact with his shop. He is rarely ever there. When you do see him on occasion, he's an odd fellow. Better not to have a conversation with.
No, I understand. I've had my share of conversations with him, actually. But both all 3 times I've had a conversation with him, he's done this funny thing with his goggles, or his eyes, they change colors. And that's got me wondering now, just pondering on this as we think of a device that perhaps could identify Fae or changelings, if perhaps he was doing something like that while he was looking at us, because they would change colors: red, blue, gold, and yellow.
Do you think he is the fellow believed to be implicated in have you have any direct implications of his involvement?
I know he's been slightly in. I don't think he's the main driver of any of this. Let me say that, but I know he's been involved with them, and he also does not seem to trust anybody. So it would make sense that
Bit of an opportunist.
It makes sense though that if he was dealing with these changeling folks and whatever they may be up to, that if he had some way to identify them, that those fancy goggles of his might be what was his method, if that was even a thing. But it was very odd nonetheless that even in the midst of our conversation, he would flip the color of his eyes. I thought at first it was with his mood, but perhaps he was looking for something.
My conversations with those that do business with Krim seems to be based on the fact that most people don't believe he is, how shall we say, human. That his appearance seems a little too manufactured. His kind of introverted tendency to avoid direct conversation with people and utilize his, kind of looks around, his duplicates for purposes of advantage.
Right. He's got at least 3 duplicates. Well, let me say, there's at least 3 of them that I know of, that I've heard of.
Well, Master Dormir seems to think that Kremp has... Well, you know what a construct is, right?
Sure. I look down at my homunculus.
Well, that's a much lesser form of some of the more advanced type of constructs you could do. I would imagine that is what Kremp specializes in, but I would say he takes it to a whole new level. His infusion of magics, organic componentry, and other things.
We did have a companion who was built by Crimp at one point, but unfortunately, they're no longer with us.
Fascinating. Do you maintain any source of a part or any kind of item related to the person?
I'm going to look over at Karina because I'm pretty sure she took something.
Yes, I have a part of. I'm not sure if I kept it. I think I maybe gave it to the Raven Queen to. I don't know, as part of a. I don't know. I don't remember if I still have it. But I think
you had like the nameplate thing or whatever.
Yeah, I think you used it as part of a commune focus, but I think you still have it.
Right. Okay. Yes. So yes, I have a piece of trauma. We miss him dearly.
Just a piece of trauma.
Just a piece. Just a tiny little piece.
No pun intended.
Right.
I'm still waiting for Trauma's big return in like the 3rd act, where it's like everything lost. We're not gonna make it, and then Trauma comes in over the horizon.
Trauma shows up at the top of the hill at the sunrise.
Yeah.
Of the 3rd.
Yeah.
Eagles. Trauma's your eagles. I'm telling you.
May I see that piece of metal, if you wouldn't mind?
I hand it over to him.
You watch as he carries it over to one of his workbenches. He pulls out some strange liquids and implementations and tools and little things. And he begins to kind of just do a kind of like a little bit of a surface test to the metal. There's like a bit of a fizzle sound. A little kind of vapor of gas comes burbling off the metal, and just as I suspected, while the outside of the nameplate does not appear to show it, but if you scratch at the surface, the nameplate is definitely manufactured of Bassaris brass. This is sourced only by one organization, and that's Kemp's organization. Nobody else sources this metal.
Huh.
Well, I am going to let Twist know I'm going to go find Dormir, and I will bring Dormir back later on this evening. Perhaps stay off the streets till tomorrow morning. Hopefully, your friend Eritrea will eventually make his way back here. But I would imagine a little bit of quiet before heading out into the streets. The Warden's Hand, they will be out and about. There's no doubt about that. They will see this as a spectacular failure of their ability. And the Warden of the Watch, well, if he gets involved, that could be, well, unfavorable. Simon Fell is a bit like a mushroom. Keep him in the dark, feed him shit, and he'll leave you alone. As soon as anyone does trouble in his neck of the district, well, that brings down authorities and other activities. So I'd just be cautious.
Oh, real quick, can
Yes.
I also hand him a piece of the frame that was used to frame the painting, the magical painting? Because we know the frame was part of what sealed it. I just want to know if he notices anything about the material that would indicate its source.
Well, this is fascinating. I recognize his handiwork. This frame is built by my master, Master Dormir.
Huh.
It is intent to, well, it's a component intended to contain a great deal of magical arcane energy, is what it's for.
Do you know why he would build a frame to contain this type of energy?
Not particularly. He builds a lot of devices and items and things for individuals that make the request. If they have coin in need, often Dormir will make it for them.
And do you know if Dormer has ever worked with a painter named Bragsworth, or with the Greymakers, or with Crimped, maybe?
He has been approached by the Greymakers on occasion for particular items of usefulness. I was not aware that he was working with Bragsworth on anything. I believe that is the famous painter who now resides in Jrusar, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, total hack.
You said,
Well,
you
I
said
mean,
containing power.
yes.
What about Faye?
What about Faye?
Watch out.
That's a pretty generalized statement there, for
That frame there,
yes.
when it was destroyed, a Fey creature of great power came out of it. But it was-
I would imagine,
it was
but I would
solid.
imagine that would have little to do with the frame. You see, the frame is a component of material designed specifically to harness or contain a large amount of arcane energy. Whether it's an item of focus, whether it's an item of containment, it is nothing more than a material component. Combine that with any other component or sense of ceremony or sense of ritual, and magic can happen. Dormir himself is not someone who's going to get involved in the fight for the Fae directly.
Interesting.
Well, stay put. Keep your heads down. He grabs a cloak. He illusionarily shifts into the Goliath and disappears out into the streets to go head towards Dormir's tower.
We should be
Bongo.
Yes.
Don't drink the wine.
Yeah, don't, whatever you do, don't drink the wine.
Drink
You this estate, you've kind of been wandering around a bit, trying to get a feel for the different activities of the place and the feel of the patrons here and those that reside here. Captain Tibian doesn't necessarily seem to be a specifically bad person. There's just no sense of who this Captain Tibian is. Like this house is definitely expensive. It's, you know, the large structure with multiple floors. People here are wearing very simple kind of like daytime or early evening style garments. You have yet to see the Goliath again, but you're almost everyone that you're running into, they just have that docile and kind of dullard look about them. They don't seem to be shocked by you. The fact that you're here for the first time and your first day here at the Gilded Cage, there's no sense of, shock or realization. That they just seem to have these very kind of like episodic conversations about stuff that just doesn't matter. But they're never without a glass of wine in their hand. There's always a glass of wine in their hand. What would you like to do with your time?
I want to go back to my quarters and get some privacy so I can let my team know what's going on.
Okay. You shut the door and settle on the bed. I imagine you're going to cast Sending.
Yes, but can I get a sense if there's any magical items that may be listening to me in my quarters?
You can give me investigation if you'd like.
All right. It's a 12.
12. Hard to tell. You see no glyphs or obvious runes or anything that could be determined to be nefarious in any way. But if she's this much of a control freak, there's a good chance that, well, there could be something listening in.
All right, well, I really feel like I need to let my team know where I am. So I'll like kind of quietly whisper Sending. Let me try to cast that.
Yep, I'm going to reset my camera while you do that.
Right, that's going to pass. That's a 17 plus.
All right.
25.
Oh, yeah, you're good.
So I will use that Sending Stone to Forn. My 25 words are, I'm at a high crown. Tell Ember Hands I am not a target. I am Bongo now. At Sex Palace of Powerful Changeling.
It's Sex Palace.
Oh, trio.
D6 inspiration for just kind of slipping that in, like a very nonchalant sending message, just like, oh, there's that, oh, Sex Palace, and there's that.
Like everybody else in the group would see Foreign like stop for a second, and then also make a really weird face, like.
Do you relay it to the group?
Oh yeah, sorry. I thought we were gonna still keep going, but I was yeah. I relate. I tell you guys, like you see me pause and make this weird ass face, and then Eritrea now goes by Bongo. He's in a sex palace, and he's okay.
Tell the Emberhands I'm not a target. That's it.
The least important piece of information.
Ford is so focused on the what the fuck is he talking about, a sex palace? Something about the Emberhands too. Yeah, don't kill him.
Could you ask him if has he joined a cult, or is this some kind of fraternity hazing? Like this sounds like, freshman shenanigans, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Or can you ask him how do we get to the sex palace?
Right.
So I'll use the token again to send that note to him and just say, Professor thinks you're in a cult. I hope you're not. With everything religious going on lately, and I'm not going to say any weird words that I see written anywhere, just in case you don't go walking off a cliff. But we think you need help, and maybe not physical, but where's this sex palace?
Tell him to use a condom.
And Melody says, sheepskin condoms.
Nah, he'll just use prestidigitation. It's all good.
I can just see him casting shield at the last minute.
Oh no.
Oh my God. Sunday shenanigans all over again. And what do we say? The sending stone can be used.
It's just got the one charge in it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
But I have sending as a spell.
You do? Yeah.
Send back to him.
Give me that casting roll real quick.
10 plus 8, that'll pass.
Yep, you're good. Well, guys, typing it out to make sure it's 24 words.
Yeah.
Yep.
Best spell ever, man. The shenanigans that come with sending, they're just so epic.
I reply, it's kinda a cult. Goliath named Shine is helping me. Sex Palace is at High Crown, trying to infiltrate War Keepers. What is a condom?
No.
So
all right, with that, the whole table just earned a D6 in yeah. That was solid. The whole table earned that D6. That was good.
Melody, you're not going to like the last bit of what he said. But the first half was, it's in High Crown, and he's made some Goliath friend named Shine, which sounds suspicious, and he thinks it's a cult.
Karina, you are familiar with that name, Shine.
What do I know about Shine?
Shine is one of your contacts that is from Bassaris. And he also is linked to the court of Ankarel. And the two of you kind of cross paths early on in your arrival in King's Fall. He is someone that you've kind of learned to trust in dealing with the changelings. He's not a changeling, and you don't know the name of the organization, but he is secretly working against them. You don't believe he's an Emberhand because he lacks the tattoo for proof of being a member of the Emberhand. Perhaps he's working for another organization, but the two of you have colluded on occasion to either locate changelings or get involved in some of the activity to figure out what they're up to.
Oh, I know Shine. Man, he's so hot. I relay everything else to them.
Yeah. Everything I told Korea, she relays to all of you.
Do we have a way to tell? Because his dome is real shiny.
Everyone calls him Shine.
Yeah, I'm imagining Dwayne The Rock Johnson situation.
Yeah.
Shiny.
I was just assuming Mr. Clean. Like,
do we have a way to relay that to Bongo?
I can send it back to him again. Do you know where Shine resides at all?
Give me a history check on that one, Karina.
Advantage because it's King's Falls?
Yep, because King's Fall.
Uh, 24.
You have you have run into him before in the Lantern Terrace, which is like the big high touristy area, at a casino called the Gold Plate.
Do we think that he might go there regularly?
That, and there's also a couple other places up there, secretive places that he's gone to in the past. But the Lantern Terrace is definitely an area that he frequents often.
Yeah, I relay that to everyone.
Okay.
I could try to get in there.
Do we want to make contact with Shine right now? It seems like Bongo is already kind of working with him. Maybe Bongo can. Sorry, I really like the name Bongo. I'm really mad that I didn't think of it first. Maybe Bongo can kind of navigate that connection for us and lead us to whatever organization he's working with, since we might have some similar goals.
Yeah, it's kind of the cult thing that I'm more worried about.
I get the feeling that.
Remember the last. Look, this is the third time he's come across some pseudo-religious organization, and the first one he tried to kill all of us. The second one, he tried to walk off into a hole filled with magma. This is the third one. I have less faith in his. I have less faith in his ability to discern the intentions of those around him.
I have a feeling that Eritrea is maybe vulnerable to religious cults, but this feels like more of one of those creepy beauty guru cults. I think he's fine there. This is more of an Axiom situation. I can't see Eritrea getting into like Soul Cycle.
It does sound like he doesn't seem to think he's trapped there. Definitely sounds like maybe he's over his head, but we'll just blow up his spot if we like break in. Maybe we just keep in contact with him.
All right. I mean, I'm sneaky, so that's why I suggested it.
Definitely something to explore as well. I think right now we're just kind of in a situation where we have a lot of leads and we need to decide which one we should follow first.
Well, by the time Tam gets back with Dormir, we ought to have a little bit of direction, at least.
Speaking of that creepy wizard, and you know that I don't really like wizards, because I think working for your magic is bullshit. Just make a pact with a dark entity.
Wait. Weren't you in school, though? Like, what was the point of that then?
Yeah, I didn't learn shit. I made a pact with the Raven Queen.
All she did was get high in the bathroom and put on makeup.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. If
it
doesn't come to you naturally, what are you doing? You know?
The professor's just there in the background with my 1 level in wizard, just in the monkey side eye.
Oh my god!
I guess my greater point is we should maybe be a little bit concerned about the fact that this nerd wizard assisted with creating a component of that magical painting thing because it seemed quite nefarious. We still don't really know what was the context for it. We know that Crimp seemed very apt at harvesting pieces of Fae and not that surprised by their appearance. We know that the Greymakers had something to do with it. We know that Bragsworth, quote unquote, was involved. We don't know how aware he was of what this was being used for and what he accomplished with it. I guess what I'm trying to say is there are a lot of pieces to this puzzle. We don't really know where all this is pointing. So we should maybe be just a little bit weary of this wizard, who is also a nerd.
Fair.
Don't tell the wizard I called him a nerd. I want him to like me.
So the other lead that I have is, Blair, who I talked to earlier. She said maybe they're working on a plan to spring people out of the jail. So she might be a person to talk to about next steps as well. But let's
The
see.
jail's up in the fancy land, isn't it?
Is the jail in the High Crown area?
It is.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe Bongo can get us in.
If it's anything like Jrusar, it's going to be difficult. I mean, you remember trying to get in Jrusar without a pass. Trying to get into the core spire with no pass, it wasn't. You could get to the landing, but you couldn't get inside.
We'll figure it out.
I mean, I can sneak in. I'm quite confident, but I don't know about everybody else. Professor,
well, thank you for that. Yeah, thank you for that confidence.
I mean, I can cast pass without a trace on everybody, but that only gives you a +10. If you roll a 1, it's still a 1.
Yeah, that's very likely in this particular group.
Okay, I need us to head there so that I can try to do something incredibly out of character, but also it needs to be done.
To the cult place or to
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Professor
What
wants
are
to
you
join.
doing?
Arch Professor's curiosity.
You guys watch as Swift puts up her hand like she's trying to get all your attention.
Oh, yes, little one.
I know where your friend Eritrea is. I know exactly where he is. I can take you there.
Where is he?
He's at a private estate called the Gilded Cage.
How
This
fitting.
bird humor.
No.
Sorry.
I'm not trying. I wasn't trying to make fun of Professor Javeltros. I think he's a nice guy. No. Don't tell Tam. But I like to try to sneak in to the High Crown. To be honest with you, picking pockets there is a pretty good way to earn a living on a regular basis. And a lot of the neighborhoods in the High Crown have all have kind of like strange private estates. Some seem to function for one purpose, some for another purpose. I don't know. But a lot of times some people come out of them and they're so drunk it's like very easy to pick their pockets. For whatever reason, the warden's hands up there, they don't really do much in that district. They mostly because the High Crown guards are responsible for that district, but they don't seem to care that much about what goes on in the neighborhoods either. As long as there's no one killing anyone or casting any unauthorized magic, they seem to kind of be fine with everything that goes on up there.
Have you seen anything particularly unusual in those estates?
Oh, well, it depends on what you call unusual. I mean, there's been times I look through a window and I'm like, oh, there's something I can't unsee. So it's like it's Just kind of depends on which house you roll up on. I mean, they're either, I don't know, they're either like kind of like these little mini bordellos, or they're like these casinos, or these drinking halls, or these kind of ritualistic people like doing weird kind of ritual stuff. Look, rich people are fucking weird. Like, it's like they've got so much time on their hands, they've got no choice but to be fucking weird. And in the High Crown, there's plenty of rich people, so there's probably plenty of weird up there too.
You see any chains and hooks with blood dripping on them hanging from the ceilings and everything places?
Foreign, I can honestly say that no, I have not heard or seen anything like that. Yeah, maybe at the butcher shop where they hang the bacon from the hook, but no.
We had an encounter with somebody that liked to hang things from the ceiling and let them bleed out, and it was very bad.
I'm morbidly curious. What kind of butcher shop are you going to? Bacon is smoked; it should not be bleeding.
I'm a vegetarian, so I just made that up. I wasn't sure what to say. But I've gone by butcher shops before.
Do you recall any details of those rituals that maybe connected them with a group of people or a deity?
Well, not really. They all seem to be like these like ceremonial chants that they go through. But you know what? One of the times I was there, I don't think they're Fae, although it's the first time I've ever seen one. There was a Luxodon who was in one of the estate houses.
Luxodon. Male or female, do you recall?
I think it was a female. And she had like a lot of like hippy dippy stuff on. And I think she even had the emblem of the Wild Mother on her neck, abreast of her clothing. And she seemed to be giving some kind of speech or some kind of ritual chant or something. I don't know. They made some weird noise and it just got a little too weird, and I kind of took off.
Oh man, we know that Lexodon. That might be really bad for Bongo.
That Loxodon's currently keeping our staff for us. Binder's with him. I want to call it Bender. You know, we feed it with beer.
So I'm sorry. Did we just hear that our Loxodon friend has been working at the Gilded Cage?
Not necessarily the Gilded Cage, but
has been in
the High Crown district and in one of the estates, having strange conversations with people.
Okay.
You mentioned chanting. Do you remember anything else around that ritual? Can you?
Sorry, I'm mostly looking for houses I could break into. As soon as there's people in them, I kind of like, oh, okay, that's weird. I'm out of here, and go look for other empty houses.
Do you remember which house it was?
Oh yeah, I remember all the houses I go to.
Would you mind? I don't know if today is the smartest day to do it since guards are on so high alert, but would you mind showing us the house? Maybe we can find out what.
Never mind what Tam says. We can take my way into the High Crown.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it's a little stinky, but it's doable.
Well, I guess we are used to stinky.
I'm not used to stinky.
Look, just a little prestidigitation and nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, I have to share this because, like, as you said this, one of my cats just put her entire face in one of my other cat's asses. So, like, perfect timing.
We're a smelly bunch.
Mm-hmm. Hi, Charles.
And Melody.
I mean, if you're worried about your friend at the Gilded Cage, I can at least get you into that particular neighborhood, and then you guys can kind of do your own thing. It's just you don't want to be up in that district. You don't want to be in the High Crown at night. It's usually the streets are empty. The only people on the streets are the High Crown guards. It could get a little dicey. They don't know who you are, or if you're up there with false pretenses.
Why don't we talk to Dormer tonight, since he's supposed to be coming, get some sleep? That gives Treyo a little bit of time to do some more digging, and then we get in tomorrow morning.
Sure.
Sounds good. Can we tell Bongo about the Lexodon just so he can be on high alert in case he runs into her? Feels like she might blow
Yeah.
his cover if she sees him.
Yeah. I can let him know. Again. I mean, I believe Kaleem is still in Jrusar with Binder, but yeah, I'll let him know, and I'll relay that bit of information that we got, and that we may try to stop in tomorrow, sneak in tomorrow, and make a visit. But perhaps Kaleem may be affiliated with things here, and keep an eye out because that could cause trouble for you.
Do you tell me about Karina's relationship with Shine?
Yes. Sorry, I thought I already did that. I thought I did on the last one. I said, like, Karina has an in with Shine.
All right. I'm going to send back to him once more. I got a 22 on that.
High roller tonight.
Yeah.
Hey,
When he's by himself.
Yeah.
When he's not,
Maybe-
when he's
maybe
not
a
putting
weird
us in
problem.
danger.
Yeah.
I'll just say thank you for. Be careful.
send.
Here.
Right.
Send.
Be careful coming here. Crazy. I say thank you for and be careful coming here. Crazy hot changeling runs this place. Very powerful. Don't know name yet.
Perhaps you should have led with that. Like, you're going to hear me say that part out loud. Like I'm talking out loud with, and I say that to everybody else in the room. Oh, shit. Eritrea says
The
it's some
description of this
changeling that
changeling
runs
sounds-
this thing.
What was that?
Does the description of the changeling seems familiar to me at all?
Just crazy hot was my only description.
Crazy hot changeling.
Crazy hot and very powerful.
Oh, me.
Karina Moonlight.
Karina
says,
starts blushing at the
Oh, you didn't have to. You could just say me.
how much leather is in those wrist pockets?
How much? What?
Leather. How much leather is in those wrist pockets?
I'm so confused. Is it? Okay. Maybe I don't want to know.
No.
All right. We'll be on the lookout for someone crazy hot. Not a problem.
Karina's already posing.
I mean, obviously you're here, right? So
Maybe it's time I come clean about my double life.
what?
Your triple
I've got
life.
to say, we're on three
Yeah,
now.
my quid,
Some
All right.
time goes by. Afternoon turns into very late afternoon. And just as the sun is about to set, the door opens and you hear two people talking to each other. One voice you recognize as Tam, the other voice you do not recognize. But when he comes in, he seems to be a elderly. You would think I would be on the right panel because you see a very elderly looking wizard come in. As soon as he comes in, he pulls down his hood and you can see his obvious elven features. There's something else weird about him, but you're not sure what it is. There's a vibe about this guy. Tam quickly holds up his hand. Dormir, this is Fawn. Over there is Professor Jalbatros. That's Melody, and that's Karina. Back there, I believe that is Ariana, the sister to Melody. and their traveling companion that goes by the name of Regina as well. I'm giving them safety in the workshop until they're ready to leave or do whatever it is they need to do. However, they did help me find the glintstone that I had showed you the small piece of on our way back from your tower. The elf looks at all of you and then looks at Tam and then kind of, well, it would seem that you've been busy. I was wondering, what does a bounty hunter, a professor, and a satyr, and he stops to look at Karina and a changeling and a, well, friends of friends of friends. What are you here for? What are you really here for?
How'd you know she was a changeling?
I have a knack for knowing what changelings are and what they aren't. It's a device that I wear.
Really now?
It actually would be so helpful to us.
Oh, I imagine it would be, except I don't know how to make it. It's one that I found.
Where
A
did you
long,
find something like that?
long time ago.
In that long,
You
long
still
time
remember?
ago when you were burying some kind of temple with a mountain? Long time ago?
His eyes narrow and he looks at you like he's just going to just burn you to the ground. How is it that you know about that?
Well, where do you think the glintstone came from?
He kind of looks over at Tam and back at you. I can assure you that I was not responsible for the ceremonial's preparation. My responsibility was the execution of the spell itself, the spell that confined that nefarious creature to the abyss down below the old mines. I have no idea what they did to better prepare me for that spell. My job was simply execution, not preparation.
There's a lot of people that have been executed for doing their job, you know, right? I feel like I came off on the wrong foot, and this is sounding all threatened and everything. Didn't really mean it that way, but I'm suddenly so confused why you seem to have a guilty conscience.
Yeah, I assure you, it's not guilt, it's annoyance, of course.
Annoyance? You didn't
Yes,
want to
I-
be known as the one that collapsed a mountain on top of a temple?
It's not particularly something I write on my resume.
That's a lot of powerful magic.
Yes, it was. A long time ago. A lot of powerful magic.
So are you like 1,000 years old?
Well, I would say that I am closer to Her Majesty's age, the Bright Queen, closer to maybe 1,800, 1,900 years old, of course. And I have worked with her in the past, and I look very forward to meeting with her again. I plan on traveling to her capital city. We have worked together on occasion.
Do you have a way to contact the Bright Queen?
Of course, but I haven't needed to for quite some time.
Would this contact method be limited by the fact that she may or may not have been replaced with a doppelganger?
Oh my. This is information I was not prepared to hear. I mean, I use a crystal ball back in my tower chamber for whenever I communicate with her. She has a matching one in her capital city as well. I think the last time I spoke with her is about 3-4 months ago.
Well, the person you may speak to if you were to use that crystal ball today most certainly is not the real Bright Queen.
Actually, I think the doppelganger was killed and we were framed for that.
But there was someone standing in as the Bright Queen. That wasn't us.
I believe the doppelganger that duped us was killed. and we got framed for it real bad.
Yeah, because that was the one that was true polymorphed.
Mhm.
So there's maybe a real Bright Queen, and there was a doppelganger. The doppelganger's dead.
If the real
So-
Bright Queen is still out there,
You might be able to contact her.
Not me. I burned my token when I found the bodies on the ground.
But maybe Dormer can?
Dormer quickly closes his eyes and starts muttering to himself. At the end of the spell effect, he opens his eyes. I cannot find her. She is not on this plane of existence, and that's a little disconcerting.
Would it feel different if, like, she was on a different plane of existence or she was dead?
It could possibly feel the same way.
I do have a spell that allows you to contact people in other planes of existence. If you would like for me to assist with that, you can try again and see if she
What
is
is
maybe
that
alive
spell?
in a different plane.
What is that spell, young lady?
Let me get that name. I did not prepare it for today, for I did not think I'll need it, but I do have it. Come back to me in a second, good sir. I am bad with names. Siphon time, spirit.
Which tells you that Talia at night goes through all of her spells in her spell list, and like,
Yes, absolutely.
There it is. That one.
and she does markings: negotiable, non-negotiable, negotiable, 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 non-negotiable.
There is one spell called Origami Bird Swarm that is so impractical, but I'm dying to use it.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
That's from Obajima. Yeah, that's good stuff.
Contact other plane. Sometimes the name is just the thing that it is.
Well, I can imagine that if that allow us to find her on another plane of existence, certainly. You cast the spell, and I'll provide the focus.
Perfect. Here is the thing. I do not have the preparation for it, so it might not work right now. We can either wait until tomorrow morning, or if you have a way to assist me in casting it, then we might have a better chance of getting it done on the first run.
Do you have a spell book handy?
Yes, I do. Have a pact with a tome.
He takes the tome from you, kind of like goes through the pages, finds the spell. You watch as he begins to memorize the spell as he reads it. His eyes glow consistently the whole time he's reading the spell. You then watch as he stares at you, Karina, and you feel this kind of push into your psyche. And
I have my ring on.
And I know. He pushes into your psyche, not for purposes of detecting your thoughts, but to place the completed spell in your mind.
Ooh.
As you now have it memorized.
Oh,
yeah.
This guy is sweet.
Hell yeah. Okay. Nobody's safe. I'm contacting everybody on the phone. I don't care where you're at. I have long distance phone plan now. I can talk to anyone. It's perfect.
1-800-COLLECT.
Okay, so I'm gonna cast it. Sorry.
That is a level 5th level divination spell.
And what do I need to? Sorry.
But that's the level she casts all of her stuff at. So
Yep.
Yeah. Contact
Such a
other
diff-
planes.
15.
Okay, you contact a demigod, a spirit of a long dead sage, or some other knowledgeable entity on another plane. Contacting this, so make a DC 15 intelligence saving throw. On a successful save, you can ask the entity up to 5 questions. You must ask the questions before the spell ends. The DM answers the questions with 1 word. If a one-word answer would be misleading, the DM might instead offer a short phrase as an answer. On a failed, you take 6d6 psychic damage
Ooh.
and have incapacitated condition until you finish a long rest. Yeah, that's the thing about those fucking spells, isn't it?
The old wizard looks at you. Don't worry, I can give you guidance and assistance. So because Dormir is going to help you, you don't get advantage on your casting roll, but go ahead and give me a casting roll. So roll a d20, and you got to roll a 15 or higher. You do get to, because he helped you memorize it, you do get to add your spell attack modifier to the roll.
Perfect, that's 21.
Okay. Now give me an intelligence saving throw with advantage.
And Professor Jalbatros and Melody will stand within 5 feet of you.
Which is a +4?
+5.
+5.
So my first one is going to be 13 plus 5, so that should pass, right?
18. You
18.
are in a trance. You feel your spirit self detach from your physical self. And your eyes go solid white as your spirit self is now looking through the many different planes of existence to kind of figure out where the Bright Queen might be. You find your mind and spirit drifting in and out of these planes. And at first you start in the ethereal plane, which allows you to move quickly through these other planes of existence until you find yourself in almost like a stormy tempest of kind of arcane weather. These huge boiling blobs of energy and essence and spiritual kind of recognition. And that's when you realize that you're floating amongst the blasted remains of the Feywild. And here you can see distorted magic. You can see this is now not only a destroyed plane of existence, but the leftovers of it are simply small portions of that greater whole, of that greater sense of the Feywild. And your mind and spirit are pushing through this unending kind of crescendo of possibility to the point where it's beyond your ability to count. But your spirit tells you that she's here somewhere in the remnants of the Feywild. And at the end of that minute, your spirit and mind fall back into your body as you realize that somebody has either trapped or she is now lost amongst all the thousands of pockets of Fey magic that is like the residual remains of its blasted former self.
I relay what I saw to everyone.
Okay.
So she's alive?
She's still alive.
She's alive. Who knows how long she's been there? Sorry, what was the name of the wizard again?
Dormir.
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 Sleep in Spanish.
Dormir. Oh. Question.
Yes.
Have you ever contacted parts of the Fae, tried to create a portal to parts of the Fae, or even contain one?
Yes, I was under contract with a young tiefling that goes by the name of Bragsworth. He was attempting to open a portal into the Feywild, so I built him a component of a greater ceremonial spell that allowed me to harness a great deal of arcane magic and use it as a means to rip open a rift between planes of existence and tap into another plane of existence. However, I did not have the knowledge or the understanding of how to keep that portal open. Bragsworth was the one that possessed that knowledge, and he's the one that completed the necessary components and spells for the painting that he was making.
Did Bragsworth tell you why he needed something like that?
No, he just said that he was looking to, find places to safely allow people to remain hidden, is what he told me.
I think the odd thing is that we found pieces of your magic being sold in the Greymakers, including this painting and the creature that was trapped inside of that was connected to it.
Bragsworth was also mentioned that.
Let's not tell him. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Do we want to tell him that Bragsworth is an archfey, or do we want to maybe wait with that?
No, I was going to tell him that Bragsworth mentioned
okay.
that he didn't intend for the Greymakers to have his art.
Well, if he didn't intend the Greymakers to have his art, how did they get a hold of it then? And for what purpose were they seeking its use?
It's also worth noting that the creature inside of it was quite sick. And can we try and describe the sickness and the condition of it to see if that rings a bell for him?
It was a shimmerling. The shimmerling inside was feral, but it was feral because it was lacking sustenance. Those beasts are they were of the Fae. They lived the Fae. They breathed the Fae. The Fae was them. And whatever that portal was had the opposite effect on the Shimmerlin.
I don't believe the portal had the effect on the Shimmerlin. In my recent studies of the Feywild, I have determined a couple things. One, the Feywild remnant magic is slowly dissolving, rotting, dissipating into the astral sea. I don't think it will be much left of it over the far distant future. It has some life left in it, some time. But for the most part, the Feywild is decayed. It will be lost to time and lost to memory within maybe 100 years or so. The same to the magic I tapped into the Shadowfell. Whatever happened 10 years ago not only permanently undid the magic that kept those two planes of existence bound, but it was as if somebody was trying to create a new plane of existence at the same time and then subsequently failed. Unfortunately, the aftermath of failure was not taken into account, I suspect. And those that were preventing the strange artificer known as Mason from using that magic and power to bring an entire world into existence, well, they may have stopped him, but I'm afraid that the act of stopping him had left other places permanently fractured and beyond repair. And I've heard the rumors of these Iron Collective folks who think that they have this ability to restore the Feywild. And I can assure you, dear friends, it is impossible. I've done my study, I've done my magics, and the Feywild is lost and will eventually be completely lost in due time.
Surely, Dormir, there's something with that power, though. That power would not just be consumed in a vacuum and not be contained in something else.
I don't know what Bragsworth was trying to accomplish. All I know is that it would harness or tap into a great source of power, keep it contained, and then use it as part of a secondary ritual or completion of a spell.
Mason and the Fey realm. Look, when I attempt to cast a spell and I fail, the magic is still there. The spell was just unsuccessful being cast. If there's pieces of the Fae out there, the Fae may never be recreated as it was. But the Fae and the Fel perhaps may be combined to something new.
Well, allow me to demonstrate. You watch as he takes a step back and he brings his hands together and he rips the fabric of the space in front of him open. And as he begins to kind of pull it apart like taffy, he reaches into this void and he pulls out this kind of like, it's almost like a liquid arcane kind of energy that he pulls out of that void. He then closes the rift and he brings this strange liquefied magic over to a table and begins to kind of allow it to exist on the table. He simply sets it down. The great mystery of Fey magic is that it is a two-way street. It existed because of an agreement between two planes of existence. Fey magic would tether itself to the material plane, and then the Fey that inhabited that space would use the emotion and the transference of magic through emotion between those two places. Well, that tether has been severed. No longer is Fey being fed the emotional magic it requires to maintain its ability to survive.
Well,
That tether can never be reestablished.
what
The Feywild will erode and decay. And he points at the table, and you watch as that gleam of liquid magic just kind of hardens and turns into like metallic dust within moments on the table.
What if, hypothetically, the Archfey were all rounded up and transformed in some way, transformed from their original form, and used in some way to reestablish this type of magic here, because that is what the Arm Collective believes they're doing.
Give me a persuasion check on that one, Karina.
I will give you advantage on that by using the help action because I am proficient. And Forn actually is curious about, he doesn't like the idea of sacrificing the Archfey for this, but he does like the idea of finding a way to recreate the Fey.
Gotcha.
It's 24, and for the record, Karina is firmly against this. She is not curious about it. She just knows it to be very dangerous for all of the humans and for Karina Prime.
I find your question to be quite uniquely asked. If by some... See, here's the thing about magic. Everything is probable. Sorry. Everything is possible, but not everything is probable. If what you're saying is that there are still Archfey left alive, and these Archfey could be utilized as a means to bring back the Feywild by tapping into the resonance of its remaining magic, that is actually possible to happen. But no one's ever done it before. No one would know specifically how to do it. Even if you were fortunate enough to be in possession of Archfey, it's possible the memory of the creation of the Feywild is even lost to them. I think the closest you could ever come to establishing such a thing is, well, it's quite unlikely, but there was once a belief that the first of Azimir was the one who built the Feywild.
Huh.
It was a failed attempt at building celestial planes of existence. And it happened to be a place that the Fae found and established themselves there. And over time, they built it into a world of their own.
You're talking about Davini?
That is one of the many names that she goes by.
The Iron Collective, whether or not it is possible, believes that were they to locate the Archfey, they could transform them into something different, kind of like they've been true polymorphing changelings in order to accomplish their goals. Do you know
Young
why they
lady,
would?
do you dance around the edge of truth or hypothetical reasoning?
I dance around somebody's truth, but maybe not objective truth. And I'm
The
trying
Iron
to.
Collective is a malevolent, gregarious group of racist bastards that need to be put down to the sword. I have no need for their type of thought and reaction to the world. They are
I
brutes,
assure you,
and they
I
need
am
to
on-
suffer for what they are.
I assure you, I am only asking this in order to stop them. I'm not asking this for any other reason. They are, for all intents and purposes, my primary enemy. And understanding what they're trying to accomplish, we can all work better against them. But I think something that I've kind of gleaned from conversations, from my interactions with some of their most disgusting, disturbing, and high-ranking members, is that they very genuinely believe and have been pursuing the idea of true polymorphing, Fae using an old relic of some sorts, a ruin, and that process, they seem to believe, would destroy this plane of existence.
So what you're saying is the Iron Collective is figuring out a way to restore Archfey through the use of true polymorph with the intent of reestablishing the Feywild that would then consume the material plane at the same time and bring the Feywild back into existence.
It's what they believe they're doing. It's also important to note that they kind of hate the old guard of the Fae, so whatever they're trying to create would probably be in their own image of justice.
That is got to be one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard.
Well,
Don't-
then I'm sorry for wasting your time.
Dormir, did you ever encounter Artanian in your many years of life?
I have no idea who that is.
The Archfey Artanian.
I don't know who that
Rena
is.
is in the background going, "We can't trust him. Don't say anything. No."
Just because I'm Elven doesn't mean I'm fluent in the Fae.
Nah, but you knew the Bright Queen. My apologies for making the assumption.
Just because I know what a halfling is doesn't mean I ever met one.
You've never met a halfling?
It's a figure of speech, Fawn.
It sounds like you never met a halfling, Porn.
That's what
Yeah,
I
no,
thought.
it sounds like this loser never met a halfling.
Dormir, I need an object I need an object that can
Yes. Tam filled me in on it on the way here. You need an object that will allow you to use it as a means to identify changelings.
And I point at his necklace.
Yes, well, for me to make this work, I'd have to destroy this necklace to learn its enchantment principles and then duplicate its creation and to make sure I have the necessary materials and components to allow it to happen. While the power of the Glimstone is meant to harness small amounts of power to broadcast and to make that power more, how shall we say, available to the caster or to the user. The one thing I do not have and that I do require to make this work is shall we say, the component known as residuum. If I had some residuum, I could certainly make exactly what you need and possibly make more than one.
Is there a market for residuum here in King's Fall?
As far as I know, the only market for residuum is either in Ankarel or Whitestone itself. Although I've heard of a nefarious young lady who travels the Bassaris and Hellcatch Valley wastes, known as Puck. I believe she contains a reserve of residuum from her old days of adventuring.
Did you say nefarious?
Well, she drinks a lot. She says things. She gets in fights. I mean, she's a lot to handle. I've worked with her on and off before, helping to get Fae folk into safety. She's got that much at least going for her. You know, she once beat a man to death because he corked her wine incorrectly.
Sounds like a cool lady.
All those things you're describing, perhaps I'm nefarious too.
Oh, don't say that self about your phone. You're just an idiot.
Who starts fights and blows up the smallest spot? And
You just come from the backwaters. I understand. Simple places for simple folk.
everybody talks about these waters. There wasn't any water there. It was kind of a swamp.
That's what backwater means. Swampy.
So why are you looking for that staff? It seems pretty important.
Oh,
We can
loose
help
tongues, Tam. Loose tongues. It's important for the other work that I'm doing that I not need involve anybody else. Thank you.
Well, we're pretty handy. If you need help finding it, maybe you can afford our services.
Well, if you find me some residuum, I could perform services for you.
Could
My-
you just lend us your device until we get the residuum? We won't need it for that long, but like we maybe need it for like a week and a half.
Melody, give me a persuasion check.
All right.
Yes.
Ability is my last time I could use it today. All right.
Get that charm going.
It's persuasion. Aren't you proficient in persuasion, Karina? Like either one of us. I helped you a minute ago.
Oh, okay, yeah, I can help you with persuasion. I'm proficient
Alright.
in persuasion.
Okay, I'll roll with advantage. All right, I rolled terribly, but I'm going to call it a 10 using my ability. So that is a 23.
23.
This is scary.
Well,
Melody can
young
very easily
lady,
be a cult leader.
young lady, I think that you mean well. Yes, I can loan it to you for 48 hours. That's the best I can do. It performs other functions for me as well.
Okay, thank you. That's so nice of you. I'm going to hold out my hand immediately.
Yeah, and as he places it in your hand, the moment you hold on to it,
Mhm.
you see Karina in her traditional form, like her changeling form. It just automatically appears. Her visage is the one that she's choosing to wander the city in, for purposes of protection. But you immediately see her changeling form.
That means
Just
Regina
out of
too.
curiosity, is this magic based? Because
Yep.
if it is, it cannot be used to identify my species because of
It is not magic based.
boo.
Whoa, this is crazy.
He describes it as temporal based.
Temporal based.
So it has to do with
And I
time.
kinda... Oh,
My familiar, or my not familiar, my homunculus is going to approach and kind of like nuzzle up on his leg. And I would like to use that opportunity to cast Identify through the homunculus on Dormir.
Give me a casting roll.
All right. Oh, that'll work. That's a 9 plus 6, so 15.
So you start channeling the magic through your homunculus. As soon as the magic goes active, it immediately sparks and bursts into smaller pieces. Oh my, I'm sorry about your your creature. What that happened? What was that?
Just tested a theory. You're an odd fella. You've lived a very long time.
Yes. So you make your toys blow up on my leg?
My apologies. And I go to I pick up the homunculus to pull it away, and I physically touch him and try again.
Yeah, give me a casting roll.
Forn explodes into flames.
Maybe. That's a 7, which still makes it because it's first level spell. So that's a 13.
You are experiencing an entity that exists in thousands of places at the same time. It does not identify. Your school of magic that the identify spell uses is not capable of identifying. The only thing it's trying to do is to touch all the things that you're touching, and you're attempting to touch 1,000 Dormirs at the same time.
How is it that you're here?
I'm here because I stand here, of course.
That's not what I'm asking.
Oh. Well,
how is it that you are only here?
Where else would I be? Tam, I must say, you pick up some of the most interesting people I've ever seen. Well, I have work to do if we're going to get this done. I must go back to my tower. He kind of smiles at you, Forn, this kind of knowing smile. And when no one else can see it, he winks at you. He winks at you like, fuck you. And then he turns.
Can I have tried to slip a token on him?
Oh my god, they're going to get married.
This
is pretty cute.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be a high DC for a sleight of hand because he's going to expect it. So, if you can beat a 25, then you slip a token on him.
Okay. I just have to roll better than a 13.
Yeah.
No problem.
And that's a 19.
Hey.
As he goes to turn, Tam quickly goes to open the door for him. You kind of use that as an opportunity to kind of just drop one of your tokens on the inside fold of one of his leather pouches on his belt.
Yep. And I let him kind of depart. Tam.
Yes.
How much do you know about Dormir?
As much as he's willing to tell me, I would imagine.
Have you ever tried to cast Identify on a person before?
Yeah, I have in the past. I would never disrespect my mentor by doing that to him. Of course not.
Well, he's not my mentor. And I tried.
Which was abundantly clear in your behavior with him.
Karina is still convinced they're getting married. She's like, wow.
Dormir may not be exactly what he seems. He exists in all places at once. Trying to get a read on him was like trying to get a read on 1,000 different things all at the same time.
Fort, you and your friends have had a busy day. You've come from Jrusar. You've made your way through up the deep down below. You've encountered the remains of a lesser deity, nearly getting yourself killed. And you've charged headlong into freeing prisoners from the High Crown. Perhaps a rest is in order. I think that is smoke that I'm smelling, and I haven't started cooking yet. Swift, let's get some meals on. Settle into the evening now.
Can I run a quick insight check about his reaction to discussing the Iron Collective's plan?
You don't need an insight check. He was deflecting. He doesn't want to discuss it. Yeah, he just... Both Tam and Dormir feel very defensive, and purposely not answering questions.
Did it feel like he maybe was familiar with this question before? Like, or does it feel like any of
No,
the
this felt personal. This felt personal.
So, does it feel like he is interested in reinstating the Fae in any way, or does it feel like he is dreading the idea of like what the Iron Collective is trying to do?
Neither. He doesn't believe that the Fae could ever. I mean, he was being honest in his conversation. He believes the magic is permanently fractured. The tether no longer exists, and in a generation or two, the Fae will completely dissolve into nothingness and no longer exist. He firmly believes that.
Does he believe that does he believe in the possibility of what the Iron Collective is doing at all, or
No, he thinks it's foolishness.
does he believe that the Archfey still exists?
No, you don't get the feeling he believes that story either.
Interesting. Okay, we'll check in with him. That technically means we know more than 1,000-year-old wizard nerd, so that's kind of cool for us. See what learning gets you.
He's
Maybe.
also
Nothing.
he's also in a lot of different places at once. And I'll relay like the sensation I got when I tried to identify him. I'll relay that to the three of you.
Professor Jalbatros, give me a history check in the midst of Thorn's retelling of what he felt when he interacted with or tried to identify Dormir.
It's bad. It's an 8.
An 8?
Oh, can we?
So,
do you have
You
I-
great
inspiration?
inspiration.
I mean, you got a D6 of inspiration if you want to roll that with it.
Sure.
Hey, does group D6 mean that
Actually,
we
I
all
rolled
roll
a, I rolled six on that, so I guess that'd be a 14.
14?
Mhm.
The description that Thorn is using is not that dissimilar from the feeling you get when you step through a dimensional gate. Sometimes when you step through a dimensional gate, your existence fragments briefly and then recollects. What Thorn is describing is if he's permanently fragmented, is the vibe that you get.
All right, so I'm going to kind of explain that to him. Just
Please tell me that you whiteboard it, though. You whiteboard it. You go over to a whiteboard and you go.
just one just pops up out.
Yeah.
I just keep one in my adventurers pack. Just like, okay, hang on. Well, no, it's fantasy. It will be a chalk slate. Come on, be fair now.
I assumed it was just like a magic quill, and you were writing it in the air as if it was a board.
Not all of my magic is based on feathers, Ford. Don't be racist.
Look, every time you do something weird, feathers fly out of nowhere, and they're not your feathers.
This is true. There's some truth to that. So evening eventually arrives. A meal is served. Anyone's free to partake in it if they choose to. Is there anything the four of you want to work on before settling into a long rest?
During my long rest. Oh, sorry. Wait. I mentioned it earlier. It can wait until after what Thorn wants to do, but I want to start my long rest by casting Dream and trying to contact Karina Porn.
Okay.
All right. I was going to use one of my casts of Commune to speak to Rimnus because I really wanted to answer some stuff.
Melody or Thorn, anything you guys want to do before your long rest? Or as part of your long rest?
I'm going to try and infuse magic into the glimstone that I put in my homunculus.
Okay.
Just like I'm just trying to cast spells into it now. Or whatever, yeah. Charge the glimstone.
Melody, anything you'd like to work on?
I will do my lengthy beauty routine and go to bed.
With your sister.
Yes.
That's fair.
Aw.
Face masks and everything.
Face
Hair
masks,
trio.
blood masks.
It is You are currently sitting in your room. The sun has set, and the evening has kind of overtaken the city, and more importantly, this part of the district. The streets suddenly become empty, and every now and then you could hear the metal feet of the High Crown Guard on their normal patrols throughout the interior of the High Crown. You haven't come out of your room since you contacted your friends. You pretty much kept a low profile. Anything you want to do before taking your long rest?
No, I mean, it feels like everyone is tuckered away. I don't want to cause too much suspicion yet by sneaking around. So I think it would be best if I just kind of settle in for my long rest.
What's your passive perception?
14.
14. Since you technically haven't gone into your long rest yet, give me a perception check, if you would, please.
17.
It's high enough for you to notice that the house is unusually quiet. You listen at your door. You hear no footfalls out in the hallway. You hear no conversation. You go out to your window in the small balcony where you remember Shine had climbed up to kind of give you that warning. You look to your left. You look to your right. No one else are on the verandas on either side of you. You look down into the gardens. No one out in the gardens. No sound of clanking glass or kind of drone-like conversation. It is deathly and strangely quiet.
I actually feel like I am going to go wander out of my room.
You step over the threshold of your doorway and into the hallway. Still hearing nothing. And what's interesting is, are you being purposely silent?
Yeah, I'm trying to sneak around.
Yeah, give me a stealth check then, for starters.
11.
11? It's hard. The upper stories of the floor have creaky floorboards, so every now and then there's kind of like this gentle squeak of a floorboard, and you kind of catch yourself and you cringe down and wait. No concern about the noise that you're making. You go to the first door to your left. It's partially open. You peer in. It's empty. First door to your right. It's partially open. You peer in. It's empty. And the whole time you're walking down the upper hallway to get to the stairs, every doorway that you pass is partially open and every room is completely empty. And you're currently on the 3rd floor.
I'm going to head...
you're at the edge of the stairs staring down the long stairs to the next floor.
Yeah, I'm going to keep going down.
You quietly make your way down the stairs. You get to the next floor, the long hallway with a dozen or so rooms, 6 on one side, 6 on the other side. Nothing fancy, nothing too small. Doors partially open. You quickly go down the hallway. You check. They're all abandoned as well. Still no sign of noise or people on this floor.
Keep going.
You make it down to the main level, the main floor. There are partially eaten meals on tables. There are partially empty glasses on tables. There's the occasional glass on the ground. It's almost as if everybody was here, and then suddenly they're just gone. The whole ground floor is empty. The garden bathhouse, the different common rooms and kind of sitting rooms. It's eerie. You walk in and around these places that once held maybe 2-3 dozen people, but they're empty. There's no one here. Ground floor, And it's almost as if they were here a minute ago and just poof, gone.
Do I see any lights on when I'm in the courtyard of any rooms that appear to have any activity?
Give me investigation or survival, your choice.
I'm going to do survival. That's a 14.
Knowing that you remember seeing people outside on the lower veranda and decking area, as well as people that were wandering the gardens, you find yourself wandering out onto the front patio of the Gilded Cage. And you begin to look around, and to your left, about 140 feet at the end of a gravel pathway, is the beginning of you saw them before when you came in, the beginning of like a topiary kind of like garden scene. It's almost as if somebody has dressed up the garden to look like mythical creatures. Creatures that would be like unicorn and Pegasus and like all these mythical beings that once existed through story or fable. And as you stare at that garden area, you can see the faint glimpse of dozens and dozens and dozens of torches deep inside the garden area. And you're now beginning to hear this kind of murmuring chant, like the breeze catches over the garden area, and you could hear this low chanting, these voices very low and kind of saying something over and over and over again, but no sense of being able to understand the words because you're just too far away.
I'm going to try to get closer.
Are you being stealthy again?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, give me another stealth check as you start heading towards the garden area where you can see and hear all this.
13.
You do have your inspiration if you wanted to use it.
Yeah, good call.
This stunning rainbow-colored pigeon lands right on your shoulder, winks at you, and goes, "Hoo, hoo, hoo."
That's 19 then. I got a 16.
Ooh,
Nice.
Good call.
sweet.
You find your footing. You make your way off the gravel path, and you use the soft grass and sandy dirt of the garden itself to kind of muffle the sounds of your footsteps. And you begin to slowly creep forward towards the edge of the garden space. And now you can hear the word that they're saying over and over again. And there's a lot of voices in unison saying it. You hear the word rise, 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 rise. And it's not fast, it's not nefarious sounding. It's just this passive, patient kind of chant that goes over and over and over again. You get to the edge of the garden space. You begin to kind of like peel away at the ivy and the other instances of vegetation that make up the border of this garden. And now you can see all the missing people. They're all standing in a concentric circle in the middle of the garden. There's some kind of statue in the middle of the garden. They're all carrying torches, and they're chanting the single word over and over again, the word rise. The statue does not look familiar to you. It's definitely a statue of a person, but it's an unknown person to you. However, you can see the captain that you helped. Captain Tibian is currently standing in front of the statue wearing nothing more than like a cloak that's draping off of her shoulders. The rest of her body is completely nude in the midst of this ceremony that's going on. She then turns around and begins to take this rather large metal chalice, and she begins offering it up to each of the individuals in the midst of their chant. Each time they take a sip, it moves on, it moves on. She wraps the cloak around her body, watching as the chalice gets passed from one person to the next, to the next, and to the next, until it reaches a person. Sorry, Foreign, I got to mute you. All I can hear are kids. Until it reaches this young man who's probably in his early 20s. Brown curly hair, kind of gray flecked eyes, wearing simple nighttime clothes, just simple cloth, a cloth tunic. And this time, as he begins to drink it, you watch as something inside the chalice kind of bursts out of the chalice into his face. It grabs onto his face, immediately kind of goes down his mouth, his throat, and into his chest. His chest kind of bulges out, and then he...
Did he just
people,
What happened?
all the other people in the ceremony stop chanting and begin to slowly shift the circle away from where this person just fell to the ground. The chalice lies on the ground. This strange liquid kind of pouring out of the chalice, kind of moving on its own accord, and then it recoils back into the chalice. Captain Tibian, in her getup and in her appearance, walks over, picks up the chalice, goes over to the statue, puts the chalice at the feet of the statue, and she holds out her hands up towards the statue. We beseech you, all of us, in our time of need. We have forgotten your name, and we wish to learn it. You are the guiders of the changeling. You are the ones that seek and tell us where to go. Your voice has been lost. Your name lost to time. Only the fragment of your existence has ever come to us. And now we offer you yet another soul, another life to bring you forth. You are the god of the changelings, and we need your help. We suffer. We are subjugated to a world that has destroyed and despised all things related to our old world and the new world we wish to create. Please, take this soul. Show us your path. You watch as the surface of the statue begins to crack. Dust begins to fall off the statue as it animates. It steps off the giant pedestal that it sits on. The crowd, lost in the dreamy fervor of both what they drink constantly and this kind of overwhelming look on their faces of cows waiting for the slaughter, is the image that you see on their faces. They smile at the statue as it strolls across over to the body lying on the ground. The statue looks over at Captain Tibian. Once again, you offer me something as pathetic as this. My memories and my worth are meant for those that understand the value of faith. My many faces as a god, my many minds, my many lies and my many truths are the power that you and your kind wage. Why should I give this one that gift? Captain Tibian comes over and she kneels and kind of face into the ground in front of the statue. There are so few of us left. So few. And even now we wage war against those that would annihilate our kind. And only through your return, your greatness, can we stop this. But we need more in numbers. We need more to be able to defend ourselves. Our plan moves forward, my lord, I assure you. We make progress. But we have suffered a setback in the city of Jrusar, and we need your guidance, and we need your efforts. I warned you and the pathetic others that you've brought to me that their minds cannot contain my will the way it is intended. You and the others seek something that will destroy you as well as give you the guidance that you require. Are you sure you wish to continue down this path? My lord, we only wish to achieve the greater purpose of our kind, and in doing so, elevate you to the highest possible position of faith that you deserve. Very well. You watch as the statue walks over to the unconscious body on the ground. It takes its stony hand and plunges it into the body and rips out the spine and the skull with equal kind of surgical precision. It then takes that spine and skull and begins to crush it into its stone hands, shaping it, reforming it, changing it into this strange kind of silver iridescent kind of metallic structure in its hands. And then it plunges it into the kind of skin and tissue and body of the unconscious person. You watch as the body begins to twitch. You watch as the fingers move, legs shift, the chest moving up and down as this young man begins to breathe again. But when they stand up, the stone statue looks down. Now look through the eyes of our kind. Know your truth. Know your purpose. And you watch as the body shapeshifts into what Karina looks like when she is in changeling form. While it doesn't look exactly like Karina, you recognize a changeling when you see one. You hear the crowd all around begin to chant over and over and over again the word rise, rise, rise. The young man, now in changeling form, stands there in front of Captain Tibian and the statue. The statue begins to kind of stiffen. It turns, walks slowly to the pedestal, steps up onto the pedestal, turns around, and mutters out to the others. Be cautious with what you choose to believe in. Do not get addicted to this power. And then the statue just kind of solidifies in hardened stone back into its original presentation when the ceremony started. You begin to watch as people begin to drift away, muttering to each other. The only two remaining people in the garden after about 5 or 10 minutes is the newly formed changeling and Captain Tibian. They exchange very silent, whispering conversation. You can't really quite hear what they're saying. Do you want to try to use the cover of the garden to get closer?
Yes.
Give me a stealth check, if you would, please.
Okay. $16.
You move through the garden using the rocks and other topiary as cover. your foot almost slips on something. At first, you think it's a groundhog hole or some kind of burrow in the garden. But as you look down, you can see the decayed face of a corpse looking up at you through the disturbed soil that you accidentally stepped on. You look to your right, you look to your left. There are dozens upon dozens of not very well dug graves underneath the different gardens of topiary shrubs. Somebody has buried a lot of bodies in this garden. But luckily you hold your positioning. You get close enough to where you can hear the words coming from Captain Tibian. Your name is not known to any of us. You will choose your name of your own accord. But I have purpose for you. The situation in Jrusar has not gone quite as well as what we'd like. While our plans in Ank'Harel move forward, and our plans in the Ashenador and the Panagrip Sands move forward, and while the great Tower Citadel that overlooks the valley of the Ashenador will soon be in our hands, our caretaker, our mentor, our purpose for what we do requires more of us. There is a person in Jrusar. We believe them to be a vessel. We believe them to be capable of hosting an avatar of faith. We know that he goes by the name Eritrea. We need you to find him, take him prisoner, and bring him to the Gilded Cage as soon as possible. For that, your reward will be this. And you notice that she holds out a potion in front of the changeling. Its color. Give me an Arcana check, Eritrea. See if you notice. I feel weird calling you Bongo. It just doesn't feel right. I agree with Karina. Feels like I'm addressing a monkey on a corner of a street selling.
No. Karina
Italian
loves
songs.
Bongo.
Well,
Karina wants Bongo to be permanent.
I only got I got a 9. I rolled a 2 on that Arcana. I got a
Yeah, it's a potion that you don't recognize, but it's been offered up as a reward of success to the changeling that's been newly formed. He just bows. He takes on the visage of a nomadic traveler, long brown hair, long kind of beard, suntan skin, wearing the desert attire of nomadic travelers, and begins to just kind of walk away out of the garden area. Captain Tibian is still there. She follows as the other changeling leaves, and then she begins to leave as well. It's at that moment you feel a very heavy hand on your shoulder.
Give us a soft, semi-silent yelp.
You hear a familiar Goliath voice. Your curiosity almost got you killed, lad. And you look over to see that Shine. He is wearing leather armor. He has a sash around his waist. Give me a history check. See if you can recognize his sash.
Not good. 5.
5. You have been rolling like shit tonight, Eritrea.
No, only since someone said, "Man, you're rolling so well."
No, it was really good. It was a good for a little while after I said that, and it went downhill.
Yeah, someone said, "Man, you're rolling so well," and then
worse.
Alexa mentions how I don't do well with dice I buy myself, and then she went ahead and bought herself some new dice this week. And I was like, it would have been nice if I got gifted some so I could start rolling well. So she kept them for herself, and that's fine. That's fine.
Oh, the traumatic arguments of newlyweds.
Thrown under the bus.
Shine looks very different. He carries no weapon, but you notice that kind of stitched into the flesh of his knuckles are these kind of like bronze emblems, almost like they're brass knuckles that have been sewn into the flesh of his knuckles. His body, parts of his body you couldn't see before, are very much heavily like tattooed. And all the tattoos are blue in color, and probably the most significant tattoo is the insignia of a rising sun over kind of like a like the visage of a city in the background. Listen, Bongo, you said your name was, right?
Yes, I have Bongo.
I don't think you should stay here any longer. I think you better come with me.
I heard we have common friends.
Maybe we do. I'm going to let her make that decision for me. You seem trustworthy. You seem smart enough to not only figure this shit out, but not get caught in the process. That little ceremony is what I've been waiting for some weeks now. And my expositor contact's going to want to know about why I'm here. And I wouldn't mind introducing you to her just to make sure we can trust you. You'll like her. She's a bit of an ass. She drinks a lot. Short hair, ponytail. She gets a little carried away at times. But she's kind of a sweetheart when she's sober.
I'd love to meet her. I know plenty of crazy people as is.
Well, let's get out of here. The two of you kind of make your way out the garden path, through the gates, down into the quiet streets of the kind of upper district. The one of these days I'm going to memorize it.
Hightown?
The High Crown district. Okay. And instead of going towards the main gate, he takes you towards a kind of a park area. Once you get there, there's this very nondescript stone building with no windows, just a single wooden door. And above it, it just says gardener on top of the, like this must be the person who's in charge of maintaining the parks or the gardens of the area that you're currently in. He opens the door, guides you into the interior of this building. So what are you bringing me this time, Shine? Another drunk? Another piece of shit on the street that needs my help? Now listen, Beauregard, that's only ever happened once or twice. I can assure you that we both saw something that we really need to explain to you. You watch as this individual gets up. She's dressed all in blue, green, gray, and white. She is heavily scarred, like she's seen many years and many fights. While her short cropped hair has flecks of gray in it, her noticeable scars on her cheek and her knuckles, you immediately recognize her for the monk that she is, although the name doesn't sound overly familiar to you. She kind of walks over, stands in front of you. So what's your name then?
Bongo.
Try again.
They call me Bongo.
Give me persuasion or deception. I'm going to let you choose.
I'm
trying to think what movie I've heard that from. They call me. Oh, They Call Me Bruce. That's the movie I'm thinking of. They Call Me Bruce.
Not a Ron White reference?
Oh, it's got to be a Ron White reference. It's got to be, too.
They Call Me Tater Salad? There you go.
They Call Me Tater Salad, yeah.
I got 17.
17. Deception or persuasion?
They're both the same, so deception. I mean, I got a plus 0 on both.
Yeah. She's pretty good at insight. Not tonight. She's not good at insight.
Oh.
She just kind of looks at you. That's a real stupid name. Did your parents not like you? My parents didn't like me at first either. I mean, I get it.
I love my name. Thank you.
Well, she crosses her arms and looks at you and then looks over at Shine. Well, let's hear it. And Shine goes on to repeat the entire story and experience that both you and he had. While he was hidden in a different part of the garden, he had heard you almost step into the freshly grave area, and that's when he shifted over to see who it was. When he saw you, he continued to watch the remaining ceremony nearest you, and then, came over to get you, and the two of you then snuck out. So he retells the entire story to Beauregard. Beauregard's kind of like playing at her ponytail and itching at her scalp. She's got this weird look on her face. I always kind of knew something strange was going up here. I got to figure out where they're holding both the Bright Queen and Jamansa Ord. We know they're involved, Shine, but we got to figure that part out. Look, oh my God, they're making changelings with that statue, but it doesn't feel religious, if you get my meaning. It feels like something else. Like that thing looks like a construct to me. And, I mean, if you're going to be an all-powerful god coming into existence after being absent for so long, do you do it in the middle of a shitberg, in the middle of the desert, on the edge of violence, in this hoity-toity town, in some random garden next to a place called the Gilded Cage? I mean, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't have to make sense, Shine. It just have to figure out its purpose. We know these changelings are here. We know they're in Ankarel, and we know they've recently failed in Jrusar. But they're looking for something very specific, Shine, and we need to figure. Nope, I learned what it is today. Evidently, that changeling that they created today. By the way, gods actually make changelings. It doesn't make a lot of sense. I mean, it ripped its skull and spine out, transmutated the bone into this silver mechanical object that was plunged back into the body, and then it arose. It doesn't matter. Listen, they sent this new changeling that they made off to Jrusar, and they're looking for some guy named Eritrea. They believe he's an avatar, a vessel. Beauregard begins to look around. Where have I heard that name before? I was in Vasselheim a few years ago, and I've heard that name before. I don't know why. It doesn't matter. Listen, Shine, you got a job to do. Get your ass to Jrusar. Kill that changeling before it can find... Well, you know what? Shine, see if it finds this Arrow Trail person. If it does, intercede. Kill the changeling. Get this Arrow Trail person safely to the Cobalt Soul Sanctuary in the Hellcatch. You understand me? It's a tall order, Bo. We're not exactly sanctioned to be doing this work. Technically, Jamansa Ord told us not to get involved. Yeah, well, technically that wasn't them, was it? No, it wasn't, at least according to what you believe and what I believe. But there are plenty of people out there that believe that it... Look, I'll do it, but, I mean, it ain't going to be easy. Changelings can change. They can become anything. I mean, how am I... Take this with you. You can use it twice per day. It's a ring of Moonbeam. This will help you. If you find someone that you suspect to be a changeling, cast this spell on them. It'll revert them to their original form. And I know you're not a big fan of violence, Shine, but if you knock them unconscious, they revert to their changeling form as well. So if you're in a pinch, pull out them brass knuckles and get to work, you know? All right, Beauregard. I'll do it. What do you want me to do with this guy? Where are you staying at, Bongo? Where are you residing?
One of these suites here.
Well, you can't go back to that house. Can't take that risk. You working for anyone, Bongo?
I was hoping to come here to help with the cause. I told them I was helping with the cause. In reality, I was trying to infiltrate this group that was.
For which organization you work for?
You could call us the PCs.
The PCs. What the hell does that stand for?
It's our group name.
The politically corrects?
Not exactly, but there's not many of us, and we like to keep a low profile.
Huh. Can you make it back to wherever you got to go?
Think so. Why do you need to take this air trail person to the Cobalt Soul Sanctuary?
If the Iron Collective and the organization of changelings is after this air trail, there's got to be someone of importance. They wouldn't go through this much effort and so much time simply to follow an unknown hunch. They must know what they're doing. And frankly, I've never trusted changelings. But in this circumstance, need to figure out what they're up to. Me and some others are convinced that Jamon Sword's been taken prisoner and is alive somewhere, but has been replaced. That little fake murder that was staged at the Bright Queen's capital city, anyone can see through that. Especially one of my friends, goes by the name of Caleb.
How easily do you think they'll be able to find this air trail figure? Does anyone know what he looks like?
She looks over at Shine. I mean, I've heard them talk about him in passive conversation. As soon as his name came up, I knew that this person was a focus of their interest. But I couldn't find any written material, instruction, or anything in regards to what they think he looks like. They did mention that he might be Azamar in origin. And that he may hail from Vasselheim. Those are the only two bits of information that I got.
Well, maybe he's hiding in plain sight.
Like Shine takes his big meaty fist, hits you on the back. That would be something, wouldn't it? Yeah, that would be crazy. Well, anyways, Bongo, I'll get you outside the gate. Thanks for not getting caught and killed. You seem like a nice guy.
Thanks. Thank you for your help, Shine.
Of course. Beauregard just watches as the two of you leave. And then Shine leads you towards a secret garden wall where he pulls aside some vines, pushes in a stone. The wall kind of partitions open. I'm going to head for one of the smallest skyports. I'll make my way to Jrusar. You want to come with me? You look like you'd be handy in a fight.
Is there a way I could keep in touch with you?
I mean, you know what I look like. You're familiar with me. You could. Do you know the spell Sending?
Yes.
Well, just reach out if you need me.
I think I'm going to try to find my way around here. Just arrived, and I have my friends that I want to get back in touch with.
Well, good luck, Bongo. Not a fan of your name, but you seem like a nice fella.
Thank you, Sean. And then
He kind of, he walks off.
I bongo his bald head.
Now I understand. You're mental. Gotcha. You're completely mental. Well, good luck to you, Bongo.
Good luck to you. I hope you find what you're looking for and save this presumably dashing figure.
That's a strange notion, but I'll think on it. Stein turns on the heels and just disappears into the city streets. You would have general knowledge of where Tam's workshop is if you wanted to head in that direction.
Yeah, I'd like to have that.
Okay.
You're just letting him go on a full wild goose chase to Jrusar.
As all of you are, I know Bongo's the NPC. I know, it's crazy.
I assume you're going to do it on his pecs, just be like.
I mean, he was pretty tall, so yeah. So it takes you a good hour to find Tam's workshop. All of you are like in that starting of your long rest. Like you're getting ready to do each of your things that you talked about. One of you is getting ready to commune. One of you is kind of fiddling with the beginnings of a Glenstone. Karina, you've got your spell book out, so you're rereading the spell for Dream for that particular spell. And all of you watch as the door clicks open, and the door silently opens, and there's Eritrea standing in the threshold of the door.
Bongo?
Did you come here to find out what a condom is?
You'll have to explain it to me. We have more.
You have wings. I assume I just need to give you the bees part, right?
Is that another jab at Jalpatron at the professor?
You have wings.
It feels a little bit on the nose.
Guys, I think I'm fucked.
No, I'm real confused. You just came from a pleasure palace, and now you're fucked.
I didn't get fucked. I am fucked. Semantics.
I mean, that you could. I don't want to say that you just exude twink energy, but that seems unlikely.
I am not giving out any more inspiration tonight. You guys are emptying the bankroll tonight. You guys are killing me. Oh.
Listen, I saw some freaky shit over there, and it's not stuff you're thinking of. And I kind of described this whole ceremony I see in this presumably god construct that can turn people into changelings, and they are looking for me specifically as a vessel.
Yeah, Eritrea, as you're describing everything specific and detail and the whole from arrival, the behavior, the ceremony, and everything, you get to the point where you describe the metal device plunged into the dead body or the supposed dead body. Foreign, give me a history check on that, if you would, please.
Certainly. Oh, shit. I threw that dice. Let's try another one. Oh, I'll take that. That's an 18 plus 1. 19.
19. You've seen that device before. It was hanging in one of Crimp's warehouses back in Jrusar.
Oh,
God
this
damn.
was a crimp scam.
Shit. Eritrea. That device sounds familiar. Little round thing, right?
Yep.
Remember back when we were in Jrusar, we raided that warehouse trying to track down Traumaton's body. There, hanging on the walls sounds like the same items.
Yeah, it was like a long metal spinal cord with like a silver metal kind of skull. And it had like strange kind of fabric or thread kind of weaved into it. And there were at least half a dozen of them kind of hanging from chains from the upper ceilings.
Oof. Did this feel purely mechanical, or was there a divine component to it?
I mean, I'm not much of a mechanist, but I felt like it was intended to look like a ceremony, and then this construct, this thing came to life, and it could have been godly, but I met your friend Shine actually again. And,
Oh, bro!
And another wonderful woman named Bo, and she really was convinced that it is a construct.
Can I do a history or anything check about the idea of creating a changeling?
I mean, give me insight. Is anyone proficient in religion?
Yeah, I am.
Nope.
I am.
Whoever's proficient in religion can give me a religion check.
Okay, insight is just an 8.
I got a 21.
Ah.
Did you roll, Treya?
Oh, I thought we were just going with her roll. I got a 15. I got a 15.
Uh, 20. I put the DC at a 20. I did not intend tonight to be such a significant lore drop.
Ooh.
When it counts, baby.
Oh my god, this is going to be such a reveal. Okay. It suddenly dawns on you, Melody, now that you've heard the ceremony and the interaction that took place. That felt very much like a religious ceremony, similar to a god that goes by the name of the Traveler. But it's not Artagnan. Artagnan is not... The Traveler is the god of changelings. The Traveler is known to host the concept of change, emotional change, emotional thought. You begin to realize that even though he's known as the Traveler through Artagnan's moniker of being mimicking a god, because Archfey aren't truly gods. They mimic the behavior of gods, but he's also the trickster god. Artagnan is a trickster god who has taken on the name the Traveler. But the Traveler is a real deity. It's a deity that kind of went out of style a long time ago. They still teach the teachings of the god of change, and that changelings are known to worship this god. But most people don't understand why. Because the god hasn't really harbored any kind of influence or power in a long time. Maybe that's why the trickster allowed that name to be used to describe him. Because everyone's kind of lost its name. But that whole ceremony, the summoning of a construct, the construct going through and metamorphosizing and creating change and causing the change to happen. The fact that the ceremony talked about being lost, the name forgotten. This could be the ancient one known as the Traveler, this ancient god that hasn't existed for a long time. This would have been something you would have studied in your religious history subject matter whenever you find yourself in a temple or in a place that affords you the time to refresh your religious studies. That felt and seems like it was an accurate depiction of a religious summoning and a transformation of one entity into another entity, which is signifies the idea of change, transformation, change. It kind of makes sense. But Foreign is like claiming that the device that was used was in Crimp's shop. Either someone has a lot of knowledge about this old ancient god and is using it as a way to manipulate these changelings, or maybe you guys have all learned something a little bit more about Crimp.
So, Crimp might be a god.
Huh?
That'll make
I'll
killing him a
relay
little
all
bit
the I'll relay all the information that Storyteller
Yeah.
relayed.
Over the next 10 minutes, Melody begins to recite everything she believes about that ceremony and what it might mean.
Jeez. Then, what are they trying to accomplish by bringing this back? Why is Crimp helping them do that?
It
Do
sounds
we-
like, I mean, not to tell you your business, it sounds like they're feeling like the changelings feel like an oppressed group, and they want someone looking out for them.
It just feels odd. It feels odd with the larger goals of what they seem to have been pursuing so far. What do we think Crimp wants with them? Do we think that Crimp is a facet of this god, a facet of another god, or just somebody who on his way?
Let's go with a group insight check. With all the knowledge and information that you guys have obtained as a group, let's do a group insight check.
Oh, this is gonna be fun.
Dirty 20.
Okay, not too bad.
I got it, yeah,
17.
30-20 for me as well.
So I'm gonna use my inspiration now.
I got a 12.
16.
Alexa, would you please buy your wonderful husband a set of dice and gift it to him?
Because I rolled a 4. I rolled a 4. Thank God I have plus 8.
Plus 8. I know. I know. So, Foreign, what'd you get?
Dirty 20.
Karina?
16.
Melody?
Dirty 20.
And then Professor?
17.
17. And 12 for Bongo, Eritrea. There are two things that surface to all of your thoughts as you're having this conversation about Crimp. One is the Apogee Solstice is still fresh on everybody's mind. The idea that Predathos could be unleashed to destroy a god. But what if the reverse is true? What if this is also offered up an opportunity for ancient gods to find their way back? gods that were once here and then left, even before the Celestial Gate was sealed, and before the Battle of the Titans, before Divergence, before all of that. I mean, you guys are in the beginning throes of restoration. This is... the door swings both ways. If the door doesn't swing at all, and the gods no longer curry favor through divine right, could that be a signal to ancient gods to return to a world that's vulnerable to their incursion? It kind of explains a little bit about Krim's abilities and powers and what he's doing. Everything he does centers around change, around the manifestation of change, creation, the creation of change, his duplicates, his ability to be in so many places at once, his power base, his growth, his influence. While he seems to be responsible for building the Iron Collective's airships, he's not exactly telling them what to do. It's almost as if his involvement is just kind of influential nudges, pokes, little pushes, and little interferences. Was he meant to be in that warehouse and meet Thorn? Was he meant to be seen having a drink at a tavern and then Thorn finds that list? Was he... what are the little things he's been doing to kind of nudge all of you in different directions and different subtle understandings? The priest that was possessed and almost allowed a demon, a creature of vast power, onto the material plane would have been seen as competition, would have been seen as a threat to the returning of a god. Were those nudges and pushes in that direction to prevent that from happening?
Tam,
Yes.
you said Crimp had a workshop nearby.
His main workshop is in Bassaris, but he maintains a workshop here.
What's the location?
I believe it is located. He keeps it in an old area called the Hollow Step. It borders between Falls Reach Market and the southern section of the Falls Reach Market. And then there's an old ancient ruin that kind of has half collapsed in on an ancient part of the city. No one really goes there. There's been no need. It's the original fortress that was built here many centuries ago, before the current High Crown district was built on top of everything. They refer to it as the Hollow Step. He keeps a rather large building there.
Well, gang, I think we need some rest, but what say we pay him a visit tomorrow?
Let's blow some stuff up.
Bongo.
Oh my goodness, the side of Bongo I never get to see.
Like a whole new personality.
And I know that we still have the commune, the Glimstone, and the and preparing the dream spell for Karina. So we could do that next week. But you guys go ahead and linger. We'll talk about the schedule. Everyone else, that's where we're going to finish tonight. Be safe, be kind, and don't forget, play a game. Everybody, will see you next week. I can't believe that 3 hours went by. I am floored.
Whisper of dreams where the shadows lie. Steps on